Okay, great. So thank you everyone for joining this third session of the cohort on customer development. So thank you to our four mentors, to our three mentors for joining the sessions, and for the founders that are already here. So we just get started. So our agenda for today, we'll start with the mentors' introductions, and then we have the president's reports, and then we have a few 60-second hot seat, and then we have the mentors talk on cluster development, and then Q&A session to end. So again, to everybody, apologies in advance because I'm likely to drop a couple of times during this session. My connection is really particularly bad today compared to usual. So let's get started, and with the mentors introduction. So today we have Nadia, we have Marcel, and we have Christian. Marcel and Christian are, so to speak, veteran mentors on the chapter. They have been with us on a lot of sessions last cohort, and Nadia is a new mentor supporting us. So let's start the round of introduction with Nadia then. Nadia, over to you for your introduction. Hello, Nadia. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I was on mute. Cameroon Founder Institute cohort. So I'm Nadia. I'm basically a Tunisian. After more than 20 years of professional experience and more than 10 years in startup funding and entrepreneurship, I'm now founder of Ihsan for Startups. It's an accelerator and an incubator working virtual to help startups founders from scratch to sustain internationally through capacity building programs. I am, by the way, also international consultant with the United Nations organizations and international mentor with Founder Institute. I am also a researcher in soft skills that help startup founders to get internationally in the first few years. And good luck for all startup founders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadia, and thanks again for offering your support to the chapter and for joining us today. Next, Marcel.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I am Marcel Poulegue. I have more than 10-year experience in telecommunication and fintech. I have also been working closely with startup and entrepreneurs doing integration, helping them to launch their product into the market using our capability. And I've also organized a lot of hackathon and things like that to empower the use of API with a lot of startups. So currently, I'm more focused on launching mobile money products, specifically lending, overdraft, and all the banking-related product into the 16 operation that we are. Yeah, nice to be here. I'm happy to help.
Thank you very much, Marcel, for being here and for your support throughout our journey so far. And last, Christian, over to you for your introduction.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Christian. I'm actually sitting out of Oslo in Norway. I was connected to the program in Cameroon last fall. I'm a so-called business angel also. I've invested in some 30 early stage companies, something like that. Among them 3 in Kenya. And I've been linked to the startup environment in Kenya, where we met each other, Bertrand. I've been a founder myself a few times, so I've been on your side of the table hunting for capital and met a few rounds. But now I use 50% of my time with early stage companies as a mentor and coach and early stage investor, and pretty active in Norway and Finland and the Baltics, in addition to these programs in Cameroon and Kenya. So well, the other 50%, by the way, I work as a consultant in this intersection of business strategy and technology, mostly with the business models. Yeah. Yes, happy to be here.
Great. Thank you very much, Christian, also for your support throughout our journey so far. Okay, so with the introduction, let's go to the president's report. So, how was the week from the teamwork perspective? Are any of the presidents on the call? I think I've seen Terence joining. I think Ibrahim is here also. So let's start with Ibrahim. Hello, Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Evening to everybody.
I think there is a background noise.
Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Ibrahim.
Okay. Concerning the report, we have worked a lot with our team member. I think they are present. They are present here with in this meeting. They can tell. Je vais dire ça en français. Hein. On a beaucoup travaillé.
Okay,
on a beaucoup travaillé cette semaine avec mon équipe. Ok, merci.
Allô, Ibrahim, je ne t'entends plus. Allô?
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I think Ibrahim is facing some challenges. So then maybe George, you want to give a report from your team? Why maybe Ibrahim is reconnecting?
Oh, okay, Bertrand. I will try to make the report for my team. So I can say that for the past week, we shared our.
Dès la semaine dernière, on a essayé.
Allô? Allô?
George, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So, so I was saying that for the past week, we have shared in my group. We have shared our impressions on the startup Mad Dips, so that some of our classmates have.
Go ahead.
So that some of our classmates have draft their own pitch. We have discussed of the pitch on the pitch of Aka, and also on the pitch of Nietzsche. I think it's all for our group.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Please, I'm here. I will continue.
If Ibrahim is here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm
hello,
here.
Ibrahim.
I have some. Yes, I have some internet issue.
Yeah.
Aux uns et aux autres.
Yeah, we saw that you dropped out. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You can continue now.
Okay. Last week with my team, we worked a lot on un absent, Madly pitch, mais pour le reste, but we come back in on.
Hello, Ibrahim. You're breaking again. Looks like you. Ibrahim, can you hear me? Okay, Ibrahim is still facing challenges. And last, I think we have Terence that is here. Terence, do you want to give for your team?
Yes, I've got something to share on what we've done in the past week. So maybe if I can elaborate on that, which we had covered in the past week. I sent the minutes, I forwarded the minutes to you as follows, as they read. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So the meeting minutes, I'll first of all read for Eric and his social marketplace named March Central. He says that it's been reading more about entrepreneurship and running startups. So he's been gaining knowledge in those fields, and he's been getting more knowledge about new technologies, which he can then include into his project. Apart from that, he's been walking around asking questions about what they need in the social marketplace. He's been asking potential customers and clients concerning what exactly they would expect from the social marketplace. He's still building, though it's still work in progress, and it's quite actually a minimal viable product. Apart from that, he's been, well, the truth to this is that he's been interviewing individuals so that he understands pretty much exactly that which they want. So in summary, all the points being pointed to the successes he had in the past week is that he's had a continued passion for his project, which is what he said himself. Apart from that, we've got one failure, which he pointed out himself. He said they're not working as fast as they're supposed to finish the minimum viable product. So that's where his failures currently are. Then the next minutes are for Jules Fiatam, and the name of his company is named Treasurize. So he's been doing assignments and discussing potential clients for his project. He's still working with developers to get the platform ready, and he's been focused more on the field to try and get good deals for potential clients, since he'll be the main investment banker to try and encourage the potential clients to invest into projects that in the long term they would gain favorable profits from. He's also been exploring options for payment collection systems in Cameroon. And he's also been trying to gather as much information as possible about the license requirements within that area. He's planning a pre-launch with an already existing community of friends and family within 2 weeks. And he's motivated by his idea of encouraging people to build long-term savings and investments. So all this now summarized to one success point is that he's making progress since things are moving the way he expects. So he's been keeping up to exactly that which he wants to achieve. And we had a team discussion around his project, and we just pointed out a few things, summarized into 3 points. We said that we discussed and came to conclude, first and foremost, that he needs to set up a bank account and payment system. Secondly, he needs to continue working on social media to build a community. Last but not least, it's a good idea he's got, and a project that's very much ideal for the Cameroon market. So he understands that the market there is not as volatile as other places. He pointed out to Nigeria being too volatile. So he pretty much loves Cameroon better because it's a much more favorable economy for his kind of project. The next minutes cover my project being Connect Me, which we eventually are going to change the name because we've seen that the domain has already been secured for Connect Me. And so we've already come up with a new name for that. But I just went straight to the successes and the failures being summarized each to one point. And the success I've had is that I've gotten my proposal refined, especially during the week when we're working around how to get a proper vision and mission statement. And the one failure we've got is that there's still no source of income to create a minimum viable product. So that's where I've really had a failure. But the team is ready, and everything that is going to be responsible and engaged with building this product is available. So we had a team discussion around my project, and one of the points where that the project is too expensive to develop because it costs quite a lot. The initial requirement for the project is $50,000 together with my team. I think it's because of the experience they've got. Secondly, one of the founders said that they could help with a much affordable team. So it's a matter of really identifying places where I may need to switch and work with a different team, but that would depend on if they are also able to pull out the features that we'd initially agreed would create with the first team. The team members also say that it's a fantastic idea and Africa needs this kind of app, something that's dedicated to professional service providers and where clients can actually find these people, unlike different platforms, which can quite be tedious to walk through, especially trying to find exactly who offers which service and how much. And this kind of project doesn't need a solo entrepreneur. That's the next point we discussed. It will need a team to get the project running successfully, an internal team that is. Finances and marketing are also needed to make it successful. It may be a good project and a good idea, but if it's not funded enough and it's not marketed strongly or extensively, it won't really be as successful in as much as it's a good idea or something that's seen to be viable. So, and Jules said that being the final point, we need to start with the services that are highly needed. We start with the hottest services that can sell quickly. And it's what we had, yeah. So these are the points that continuously helping me refine the idea and refine the proposal up to the point where we even start building a minimum viable product from all of these reviews and yeah, and the feedback I got in from the team. And then the next project that the next discussion we had was for Aqua Ashtandoa. I'm sorry, I'll just call him Aqua. It's AKWO. And the name of the project is MKWA. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yes. So he's saying that, he said in his minutes that he's been networking at the IFF. He worked on a pitch, he's developing a community strategy, and is hiring a software engineer. So these are the meeting minutes that we had to give out to you, or that summarize everything that we've done in the past week. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terence, for this quite comprehensive report of your activity during the week. Now, I think Nana Ibrahim is back, and hopefully have a better connection now. So, Ibrahim, can you go ahead for your report?
OK. Thank you, Mr. Fossing. Avec mon équipe cette semaine et la semaine dernière, ça dérange encore. Allô?
Non,
vas-y. OK.
Oui.
Donc, avec mon équipe dans la semaine dernière, on a évalué les différents besoins des uns et des autres en matière d'assistance et en matière de transfert d'expérience, puisque nous sommes sur des projets différents, sur des entreprises différentes et sur des niveaux d'avancement différents. ceux qui ont plus d'expérience ont bien voulu partager avec ceux qui en ont le moins. Vu que nous nous retrouvons les dimanches 20h, nous avons donc échangé sur la session qui a eu lieu mardi dernier et on est revenu plus en détail sur l'élaboration de la mission et la vision. Mais avant, comment est-ce que l'idée et le marché se rencontrent? Chacun a essayé de présenter brièvement ce projet-là, son projet, son entreprise et les difficultés qu'ils font face en sollicitant l'appui de l'autre, les remarques de l'autre, les retours pertinents de ses pairs et les a intégrés éventuellement au développement de son projet. À la suite de cela, on a travaillé également sur le pitch Madlib, la version pitch Madlib, ce qui a permis aux uns et aux autres de pouvoir se préparer pour aujourd'hui. Donc, de façon globale, le niveau d'avancement et la diversité des projets des uns et des autres ne favorisent pas toujours une meilleure compréhension des marchés, des différents marchés que chacun essaye d'affronter. Voilà mon petit rapport sur l'équipe.
Merci beaucoup, Ibrahim. So I'll do a quick summary of what Ibrahim said in his report. So the first thing is that they discussed the mission and vision presentation that we had during the last session and see how they can leverage that for building their own vision and mission. After that, everyone presented his project to the other members of the team and asked for any suggestion or advice in terms of how to go forward with their respective project. And the third thing is that they work on preparing the Madlib 60-second pitch by using the format that is recommended by the Founder Institute to do so. And one point that Ibrahim noted is that given that their projects are in different industries and they are at different level of advancement in terms of building their company, so maybe the advice that they can give each other are not always relevant. So this is something that he wanted to point out. So
I think we lost Bertrand.
Hello? Hello, Bertrand. Did you call me?
He will come
Hello?
back just a few seconds. He has an internet issue, just few seconds, he'll be back.
Hello?
Do we have internet issues?
We exactly. He
Yeah.
had an internet interruption. So few seconds, he'll be back, inshallah.
Okay, madam.
Yes.
Thank you.
It is raining cats and dogs in Douala now. That's why internet is very bad.
Oh, hello, everybody. Sorry about that. So let's just carry on. Can you see my screen?
Nope.
Not yet, Bertrand, not yet.
Okay, yeah, just give it 1 second. It should be displaying. Please let me know when you are able to see the screen. Still not?
Yes, Mr. Fossing, we hear you.
Yeah, but can you see my screen? That's my question.
No.
Okay, let me restart. Yeah. Okay. Any luck?
No, sir, just logo.
Oh, okay, though. Yeah, not sure what's happening here, but let's just continue. So now let's move to the hot seats. On the hot seats today, we should have Yopa, you on the call? Hello, Yopa. We should have Jules as well. I think Jules joined. Jules, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and we should have Bertrand also. Bertrand, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so the one that is not here seems to be Yopa, right? Okay, so we will start with Gilles, and then we have Bertrand, and then if someone else wants to do his hot seat, he can just go ahead, and it will be just today we are doing the 60-second one sentence speech, right, with the Mad Lib. Okay, so this is specifically what we are doing today. And before we start, let me acknowledge my co-director Geraldine that is on the call. Hello, Geraldine. How are you?
Hello, Bertrand, and hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here and looking forward to hearing your pitches and more about your businesses, and also hoping to add some value. Thanks, Bertrand.
Great, thank you very much, Geraldine. Okay, let's start with Jules then for the hot seat. Hello, Jules.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so for your 1 minute Mad Lib pitch, and do you want to present, or you just go ahead and for the delivery?
Just go on delivery. I cannot present now.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Jules, founder of Treasurize, a startup company that is developing an investment platform to help ordinary people in Francophone Africa build wealth through savings and investing in curated opportunity across the real economy. So in our current financial landscape in Francophone Africa, individuals in Cameroon and CEMAC zone struggle to find opportunities to invest their income while the local companies starve for funding. So traditional financial assets are offline, expensive, and inaccessible. Unutilized cash end up in bank deposit which depositor earn close to zero from their money. So we want to find a solution for that. So we are bridging this gap by connecting individuals to secure high potential investment in the real estate and SMEs, with return exceeding 15%, accessible online in just one click. Our approach is to start with the real estate and private credit. By bringing the crowd investor, we want to unlock the lucrative opportunity that were once too fragmented for small investors to participate. With Treasurized, individuals earn consistent return, enjoy security backed by real asset. We eliminate middlemen, reduce risk, and provide complete transparency so that they can invest with ease of mind. So our market is CEMAC zone, and we want you to join us to democratize investment, reduce poverty, and modernize our economy. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Jules, for your pitch. The floor is open for our mentors for feedback to Jules.
Do you like to start or to name mentor Bertrand, or how do you proceed?
Yes. Go ahead. Just go ahead, and then any other mentor could go after you.
Okay. Thank you, Jules, for your speech. I greatly encourage you that the next time you prepare your deck and present as well in parallel with a PowerPoint in order to prepare yourself for an investor pitching, okay? Usually using a deck will help to understand the idea, to catch the information, and to catch the business idea and the opportunity. In general, let me be frank and honest. I didn't catch, okay, you'd like to participate in the wealth of the country, of the community by investment assets, but how? I need to know how you will be doing this, as if it's not so clear, so the deck may help this. You don't some other points, what is your product, your service, how you expect to earn, what is the price of your service, what are the expected revenues in the 3 and 5 years ahead, what is the investment you are asking, etc. This is a few points. As a last recommendation, as if you are in the finance sector, right?
Yes.
Yeah. In the finance sector, I'm not so experienced to give such and deep advice, but just a general advice. I know that in finance in general, as now there's a crisis in United States, and there are banks that go bankrupt lately, and there's a trend now to use techniques of Islamic finance. I don't know if you heard about it, and if
I know Islamic finance very well.
Great. So year by year, there's confirmation that Islamic finance techniques and products give banks and investors more wealth, more profits, and more ensured profits. For example, in last year, in one Tunisian bank, the net profit of one Islamic bank was $70 million. So, and this is, and there's no other bank, conventional bank, that did such a profit. Just a general advice to discover about Islamic finance techniques and how you can use it, since the zero profit, zero interest concept, it was learned in finance concepts, and it is confirmed year by year by financial crisis all over the world. this is in general, and I hope the next time or in few days I get your deck to understand more what are your services or your products, how you will, what is your strategy, and what is exactly your unique value proposition. And good luck, Jules.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nia, for your feedback. Who wants to go next? Christian?
Yeah, I can go next.
Yes, Christian.
I want to go.
Yeah. Is it okay?
Hello, Ibrahim. For now, it's the feedbacks, right? And then we go to the next hot seat.
Okay.
Okay, Christian, over to you.
Yeah, 60 seconds is very short time, so I do not expect to hear everything about your business in 60 seconds, but what I really want to hear, the first seconds, is about the customer problem. The customer problem, not so much of the solution, not so much of the revenue model, but really that you have nailed the customer problem. And you have a business model, Jim, which is two-sided. It's a two-sided business model. It's not one-sided. It's a two-sided business model.
Yeah,
where essentially you match individuals struggling with finding these opportunities with opportunities on the real estate side. And I heard a few things about your view on what the individual customers were struggling with, but I heard nothing essentially about what are the real estate players on that side struggling with, because that is your work to really find that match. And to be very, very, very aware when you have a two-sided business model, because they are difficult. They are difficult because you need to create this critical mass of buyers meeting the sellers, right, to make this going. So that was my key recommendation to you. Think about the other side and think about what they are struggling with, not only the individuals. Okay.
It's a crowd investing platform.
Yeah, but who are on the other side?
Yeah, who are the other side? The other side are real estate promoters and SMEs.
Yeah,
private debts from SMEs.
Why should they come to your platform? What are they struggling with?
Because they can't get access to credit.
Okay.
We want private individuals to be able to fund their activities.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I was listening badly, but I heard about the individuals, but I didn't hear so much about what they were struggling with on the ones providing the investment opportunities. Because there are a lot of investment platforms, at least around the world, and what are really?
We don't have any in this market.
I didn't.
There is no place in this market where you can invest without being in control of your own investment, without being on your own.
Okay, you decide how you will take my feedback. I decide what feedback I will give. Okay.
We don't have a financial market. We don't have anything.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Christian, for your feedback. So what I take from that is that it's a two-sided wire, and in those circumstances, you always have to pay close attention to the challenges faced by both sides. Okay. And last, Marcel, you want to give a quick feedback to Jules before we move ahead?
No, Bertrand, sorry, I missed one part of his presentation. So, I will
Okay.
feedback on the next player.
Sorry, I dropped again. So yeah, so we're done with show. So next would be Bertrand on the hot seat. Hello, Bertrand, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Now I'll go with the 60-second pitch. I'll first do the one sentence, then I'll follow up with progress. Excuse me, I'm going to time myself up. Good evening, everyone. My home, that's my company, is building a platform with the objective to match vetted tenants who have a formal job with approved landlords so that we can offer simplified moving terms to tenants and quench rent delay and insolvency in the benefits of landlords. Progress. We have already, my team and I have already interviewed 76 tenants and 11 landlords, and 2 of them have offered to sign letter of intent. I've already got one today. We've also used 13 keywords to find competitors and better understand our market. And those keywords led us to institutions, websites, to blogs, and to Facebook pages. What we saw is that we have quite good competition, but the problem is that they're not organized and they do so many things at the same time. That's it for my 60 seconds. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Bertrand. 60 seconds. I see that you applied the magic formula to the letter. Yeah, very good. And okay, rounds of feedback. You want to start this time, Christian?
Yes, I can start, and actually we'll start with more or less exactly the same feedback as I gave to Jill. You have a two-sided business model, right? You have 60 seconds, and I really want to hear what are the landlords struggling with? What are the tenants struggling with? Because that matching of the problem, the customer perceived problem on both sides, that is what will trigger. It's very good to hear that you already have what was it, 11 landlords and 7 tenants or something like that. And that is a good indication that you are onto something, but you really didn't tell me, at least in the way I heard, what problems are you solving on each side.
Is it a question to answer now?
Yes, go ahead, Bertrand.
Okay.
You can share with him so that he gives you feedback. Yeah.
Okay. Problem landlords are facing. One, they don't have any tool to choose their tenants and choose only those who can pay normally. That's why they are taking in Cameroon more than 10 to 12 months upfront because they don't know how to choose good ones. Second problem is that most often when the payment day comes, many tenants do not have means to pay. So they will suffer delays, 5 to 10 days delays, and landlords do not like that. Third problem is that when a tenant is suffering insolvency, landlords have no means to put them out of the house. No means. So they will bear with them months after months, month after month, and one day they will decide and live on their own. And fourth problem they are facing is that many times the day a tenant is moving out, there is a problem between tenants and landlord because the landlord would like to hold back the deposit that the tenant did. Why? Because they will accuse tenants of spoiling the house, of destroying the house. So they will keep the 2-month deposit to fix houses back before waiting for the next tenant. We are jumping in to help them choose. No, we have built an algorithm that will help them choose good tenants, people who can pay normally, so that landlords will no longer need to take 12 months upfront. Those are the 5 problems that they are facing now.
And for the tenants, what are the main problems? The other side of the business.
Okay, the other side of the business, what tenants are facing is that from our interviews, many tenants who have formal jobs they can pay their rent on a monthly basis without any problem. But when they get to a landlord, the landlord will need 10 to 12 months upfront. Tenants do not want to pay 10 to 12 months upfront. Second problem, and those are the 2 problems tenants are facing, is that they want to make sure that the day they are moving out, that deposit should be refunded. There's no way in sub-Saharan Africa now to refund that money, because landlords will always create a problem just to keep that money. Those are the 2 main problems tenants are facing.
Okay, great. Christian?
No, fine answer, fine response. I think you should, if you have 60 seconds, really focus on that matching of problems, because that is the first thing. An investor is looking for, is the understanding of the customer problem. If the understanding of the customer problem is limited and you move on to your solution, you can be absolutely certain that most investors are falling off. And you have essentially valid problems on each side, which is good.
Okay, thanks. Please let me round it up. So I should fit those 5 problems in my 1 minute. That's what you just said.
No, well, I don't think you have time to take all problems, but if you take the 1 or 2 most vital problems on the tenant side and on the landlord side, and say this, and you are presenting a solution to address that, then I think it's good. But make sure you get the problem there. Make sure you use some of those seconds to get the problem clear.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Christian. Thank you for your input.
And now, Marcel, any feedback for Bertrand?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Bertrand, for your 60 seconds speech. Go on, Marcel. Go on.
It's fine, Nadia. Okay. My first feedback was that I recognize the 60 seconds is very short, but I didn't see, or I didn't have the perception that you are solving the problem, or you just mentioned that you are building a platform to solve that problem, but you didn't highlight the how, maybe quickly. And if I take the 2 problems you mentioned on the tenant part, so I can't match how they will have their money back, or how they will be convinced I'll trust your platform. So I didn't hear the notion like trust in your speech. That is really one of the underlying problem that I get here from this situation, being myself on the tenant side. Yeah.
Okay. Should I elaborate now, Christian? You're not done.
Yes, you can.
It's Marcel, but yeah, Marcel, do you have any further feedback?
I'm sorry.
Feedback before Bertrand gives you his answer. Hello, Marcel. Do you have any other point before he
yes,
can
the
respond?
other point, the second point is the facility that he will bring. Like, is it a financial platform? And because I guess from his speech that it will be saving taking the money from the tenant or the money from the landlord and playing those back and forth between them. So he need also to speak more about the financial part of his solution, how it's built. But like I say, maybe it's difficult to tell all that in 60 seconds. But that trust is the only word that that I think if he added in solution or in speech, it will maybe give the comfort. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Marcel.
Okay, Bertrand, just 1 second before you answer, I want to point out something here to the founders on the call. It means that the idea of the 1 minute pitch is not for you to explain everything to the investor, but it's to trigger curiosity from them. And from them, they will be willing to ask you questions. And if you have observed, this is exactly what is happening here. Christian is asking questions, Marcel is asking questions, because from the 1 minute, it triggered their interest and then curiosity. They want to know this, they want to know that. This is exactly what the 1 minute pitch is for. Are you getting? So it's to trigger curiosity and interest from the investors so that they ask you questions and they want to book another meeting with you to learn more. And this is exactly what is happening here. So the floor is yours, Bertrand.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Give your points to Marcel. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yes, Marcel, you asked the question how and what about finance? What I'm offering now.
I'm sorry, I can't get you very well.
Those 2 months. Hello? Can you hear me now, Marcel?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello? Okay. What is included in my product is that I tell landlords to allow tenants to give me the 2 months deposits instead of taking them themselves. So tenants will and give me 2 months deposit. That's how I will use those 2 months to cover my second product. So the day there's a delay, I'll pay the landlord on the D day and wait for the delay from the tenants. Now, your question is, the day the tenants is moving out, how is that money? I will not have to refund the money. But if you want, the money is in my account. I give him the money. I give him the 2 months. I will keep the deposit and give him another apartment. Now, as for the financial, how am I going to secure that money? I've already engaged talks with a money integrator, payment integrator, Pay in Cameroon. So I want rent to be paid online. So I'll put a button on my website so that people will come and click there and pay their rent, and it will enter the landlord's accounts or even mobile money accounts.
How do I trust you?
Sure. I create
me as a landlord. Why do I trust you?
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Bertrand, say me as a landlord, why do I trust you instead of managing that myself as a landlord, or give to my son to manage? Yeah.
Because when you are managing your asset, trust me, they do 3 months upfront payment. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Bertrand. We
Hello?
lost you for a moment. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish
Okay.
your response to Marcel.
Okay. Yes, I do that problem every day. You don't know how to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
People who have the means to pay you every month. Hello.
Yes, Bertrand. Your connection is
very bad
today. It's we live here. Thank you, Marcel and Christian for your feedback. And
okay, thank you.
Let's take another person before we go to the session. Ibrahim, you wanted to pitch?
Yes, I wanted to pitch.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready since.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I will go in English because everybody here is in English. So good morning, good evening, everybody. My name is Nana Ibrahim. My company is Osiris Corporation, and we are specialized in geographic information system. We develop custom application tools, and we provide services to business and organizations that face the challenge of accessing and managing this geographic data. The whole point is to be able to help them develop web and mobile application without coding and without increasing their IT budget for all industries. Thank you.
Hello, Ibrahim. You was breaking. I'm not sure they hear anything.
Okay, please let me repeat. My company Osiris Corporation is specialized in geographic information system. We develop custom application tools, and we provide services to business and organizations that face the challenge of accessing and managing this geographic data. The whole point is to be able to help them develop web and mobile application without coding and without increasing their IT budget for all industries. Thanks.
Okay, great. Unana Ibrahim, your pitch was very short though.
Because it's a 60-second pitch. If you need more detail, I can give you.
Okay, though. Yeah, we'll see with the questions. Maybe Nadia to start with. Nadia, feedback to Ibrahim.
Okay. Since it's a 60 seconds pitch, means only 1 minute pitch. So I think this 1 minute slot allow us to tell what is the main problem, what are you offering as a solution, what is your unique values, your unique offer are you offering for your clients, who is or who are your customers, means what is the customer persona, the profile of the customers. In short, what are their needs, what are they are looking for. This is your response of the problem they are facing. So I suggest that you start by saying who are your customers, or who is your customer profile, what is the problem they are facing, as Christian said, and then you complete what are you offering them as a value proposition. So the value proposition is a sentence, it's a short paragraph or short sentence that answer 3 components or include 3 components. The what are you offering, for who are your customers, and what are the unique values you are offering you are offering developing data. Okay, you said this is a unique point, which is great. Developing solutions without coding. Okay, that's okay. But what else? For sure, it's not only that point that will make you differentiating between your with your against your customers or let you be competitive offering your service. So you need to express well and to show in what you are unique against your competitors in your services for your customers. And your customers, you need to show up what is exactly their needs. I prepared the presentation and don't know why we skipped this part. So we need to show or to express what are the needs of the customer, the needs, the expectations, and there's another concept which are their let's stop with the needs and expectations of the customer and what is the profile of the customer. That's all. And this advice for all startup founders, as Christian said, we need to show what is the main problem and what are you offering as a solution, but expressing the unique values you are offering for your customer and showing who is or who are your customer in terms of profile, in terms of needs. And good luck.
Thank you.
If you mind, just I have a question for Bertrand. Shall we use the hot seat option in the hot seat link, Bertrand, to
yes,
rate?
please. Yeah, to rate all of them. Yes, of course. Yes, please.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding that, Nadia. Marcel, a feedback for Nana?
Yes, my feedback was very similar to the one Nadia gave. I didn't, it was too broad, his solution and his offering. So I was not able to answer the question why him and the other provider of information, geographical information system or web or development. So I was not able to really pick up why him and no one else. Yeah.
Okay. Ibrahim, you have any point for Marcel?
Yes. For please, I want to come back from Mrs. Nadia. I believe we have the methodology that was given in pitch Matlips. The methodology was clear and simple. With the example associate on this pitch. So in few seconds ago, Mrs. Bertrand said the pitch is to get more information. So we have a pitch deck to present if we have more time to present. And now my company, as I've said, if I should give more information about what we do as a geographic information system company, we have developed a complete ecosystem where your data user and tool reside and give the ability to cook your own application for the web and mobile in a matter of seconds. The main problem we try to resolve is that in every company, more than 80% of data have a geographic data character. Yes, have a geographic more than 80% of this data in every company, every industry, it have a spatial reference. It means it gives us the ability to help this type of company to manage this data and to launch quickly in a few seconds their own application to manage this data. For example, you want to build a road, an infrastructure, and you need to collect data, socioeconomic data, environmental data, and climate data. You use the application to collect all this data in one place, and in a few seconds you have a solution that you can help the company to make better decision. Actually, we have four major partners, three partners in Cameroon and one major partner in Egypt. And we have worked with Microsoft for Startup Founder Hub. They help us again, and they want to go to the market. And in Cameroon, we have more than 100,000 of customer, of user. That means the market is more than 96 billion dollar, right? Our market is 96 billion dollar. So when I have explained the main problem we resolve, I have presented the market size, and Mrs. The man who talk up, Marcel, please excuse me, Mrs. Marcel. You ask what are we able to do? Est-ce qu'on a le profil pour gérer cette entreprise-là? Yes, we have do a school we have learned.
Non, pas est-ce que vous avez le profil. Pourquoi vous, donc, pourquoi, en fait, on ne comprend pas pourquoi vous gérez, qu'est-ce que vous apportez de façon unique par rapport à d'autres concurrents?
OK, donc par rapport à d'autres concurrents, n'est-ce pas, sur le marché, il y a des outils qui sont diversifiés. Ça veut dire que le transfert de données ne correspond pas toujours au système de référence dans des autres entreprises. Ça veut dire que si vous gérez, par exemple, dans un département, le département informatique doit gérer avec le département ressources humaines, ou bien avec le département fabrication, ou bien industrie, chimie, c'est pas un truc dans une industrie ou bien dans une entreprise, le transfert des données nécessite souvent, il y a souvent une perte de données. Il y a une perte de données et le temps de traitement est plus long. Je prends le cas dans une mairie où vous avez la possibilité, lorsque le maire lance un projet, de pouvoir gérer le projet par lui-même en définissant les niveaux d'accès et les niveaux d'information qu'il souhaite avoir à ses collaborateurs lorsqu'il y a un projet d'infrastructure. C'est ce que nous avons réalisé avec plusieurs d'entre eux. Donc, l'idée même, pourquoi est-ce que notre proposition est unique, c'est parce qu'ailleurs, ça a déjà 20 millions d'utilisateurs. Mais pour le Cameroun spécifiquement, pour ce marché, on est encore à 400 utilisateurs et ça monte sans avoir fait du marketing. La proposition de valeur est unique, c'est-à-dire développer les applications SIG sans coder et sans avoir besoin d'augmenter le budget informatique, sans avoir besoin de recruter du personnel supplémentaire. C'est la proposition unique qu'Osiris offre pour son marché. You have any question?
Yeah, I think the time you took for your pitch was too short. So I think there was some opportunity to add some of the words that you just explained, so that you will still having time to explain some of these things that you clarified. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to add something, Bertrand, if you mind.
Yes,
this is the exercise. Yeah, thank you. This is the exercise that you will be doing in office hours. So you will need to explain a lot of information answering these three questions. What is the main problem of your customer? Who are your customers and what are you proposing, in order to help you summarize in 3 words. What are your unique offer? Who are your customers? What are you offering to what are you offering to your customers in order to choose you and not your competitors? Means you are answering the why question, why the customers will work with you and not with your competitors. So as Marcel said, you will be brainstorming, explaining in writing or in verbally, in order then to choose the right words. For example, for all the, I don't know, 5 minutes, for example, or 3 minutes explaining by Nana or by Ibrahim, you are saying 3 main or important words. You are letting your customer gain time, go fast, and economize
Money.
personal costs.
Mhm.
Yeah, but money through what? Through means not spending more money on personnel. So
Yes,
you
madam.
need to choose the right words, the expressing words, the deep words that express and show the answers that any person, investors or mentors are expecting to hear. And look, I think that Bertrand make you in the most important exercise, that speech going in a speech in 60-second speech is harder than doing a speech in 5 minutes. So you need to summarize 5 minutes in 60 seconds. So this is harder. So try in return back to your office to answer these three questions, brainstorm with your team, and then choose the right words that express rightfully your answer and your value proposition. Good luck.
Thank you, madam.
Great, thank you to everybody for this hot seat session. So without further ado, let's move. Yes, you want to?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Bertrand.
Yes.
Is it still possible to
pitch?
Yes.
No. We have to do the mentor talk now. We are more than 1 hour in the session, almost 1 hour and a half. So let's give the floor to the mentors for the topic of today. It's a very important topic of customer development. So without further ado, I would suggest that Christian, you go first, and then Nadia will go second in presenting on the customer development. So Christian, the floor is yours.
Okay, I will take a portion. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
we can see.
So I'll talk. I will not talk about everything about customer discovery, but I will customer development. But I will talk about what I see as the most important part, actually, of customer discovery, customer development, which is the discovery part. And discovery is the early stage, if you like, of customer development. And this is built on my personal experience. And as I said, I've invested in some 30-35 companies or so. Some of them successful, and so many of them not successful. And I said, what is really the reason why the unsuccessful companies fail? That is my key question. And my experience there is that the ones that failed, they failed due to solving a nice to solve, not need to solve, a nice to solve business problem for a too undefined, vaguely defined customer group. That is the reason, number one, why startups fail, in my experience. It has nothing to do with availability of investor funds. It's not about quarreling in the startup team. It's not about the technology not working. It's not about the market size being not big enough, etc. Those are not the key reason. The key reason is this: you do not address a problem that is so dramatically important to solve for your customer that they get to it, right? That is the key thing, and that you probably heard that when I gave the response to the startup teams. This has to do essentially down to one key technique, which I think is very important. And if you haven't filled it out, do it. It's called the Lean Canvas. The Lean Canvas is a simplified and modified version of the business model canvas. It's targeted at very early stage companies, and it has this focus on the problem side and the customer side. Those two sections of the lean canvas is what I think are the most important ones. And when it comes to the problem, I like to start with the problem. I don't start with the customer segment, I start with the problem. Because what you need to do, you need to find a problem which is so dramatically important to solve for somebody that essentially they are lying awake at night due to the problem you are solving. That is the kind of thing you need to solve. It's not something that is, okay, nice to solve and etc. You really need to solve it. So if you start with the problem side, I would strongly recommend you to start on the problem side and to do a problem-based segmentation. So you really start saying, okay, now I solve this, whatever. Let's start with the dramatic problem of inability to get funding, right? On the seller side of these investments, the first things I heard say, okay, who has this problem? Who are the ones having that problem? Because that should directly lead you into a set of customers, possible personas, if you like, on the customer side. And one good rule for a startup: never ever try to get a broad customer segment. Do not do that. Try to narrow down, and really be extremely specific of the customer segments having the problem in such a dramatic way that they are awake at night. Okay? Because those are the customers you need to address as a startup. You will never ever succeed in addressing a mainstream market early stage as a startup. So do your customer segmentation based upon who has the problem most. And then within that segment, which may be now, let's say it's what is it? It's a segment of real estate so-and-so having have a certain duration of how long they've been in business, a certain profile probably of the investments, making them not accessible for funding, etc. In that segment, who are the potential early adopters? Because every single segment, again, has some people who are early adopters and some people who are laggards and the mainstream. You need to find the ones having the most urgent need. And then you need to go from that early adopter segment into the question, what are the alternatives? What are the alternatives these people have today in solving their problem? Because you need to be dramatically much better than the alternatives. And that will eventually lead you into your value proposition, etc. But that is a theme for I think the next session. Okay. So this is the background. These are the 4 key things: going from the problem to the segment, from the segment, and select one segment, not 10 of them, one single segment which really has this problem. Go from the segment to the early adopters, find the early adopters, and start working with the early adopters. And working with the early adopters essentially means interviewing them. Okay, and this customer discovery interviews is the key technique. It's not market analysis, it's not surveys, it's not group meetings. It's essentially interviews, and I come back to why this is so essential. This is the key technique in understanding who are the ones having your problem most, how are they solving that problem today, how is that solving the problem working for them, etc. Those are the customer discovery interviews. Okay, just to pinpoint, what you really want to do is to reach the mainstream market with a lot of people, but you cannot start there. You need to start here. And what are the characteristics of these early adopters? The early adopters have the problem you are solving. That is the first. They have the problem you are solving. They have tried to solve it, and they have not succeeded in trying to solve it. And because they have tried, they have used money on it. So they have a budget. So that's the key characteristics first. So they know they have a problem. Not only you know it, they know it. They have tried to solve it, and they have not succeeded in that, and they have a budget to do that. So this problem by the early adopters is so strong that they are essentially awake at night. Okay, and these people, early stage, those are business people. You have a small segment in front of the early adopters, sometimes called the innovators. I like to call them the techies, which may be interested in your startup because you have whatever, it's building on machine learning, for instance, so that's an interesting thing from a technology point of view. But those are not the ones you are searching for. You are searching for the business people sleeping bad at night. And these business people that sleep so bad at night, they are essentially willing to buy from a startup. Most companies do not buy from startups. Only early adopters, only the ones being early adopters essentially buy from startups, at least buy from startups in a way where you want to have them as customers. Okay, and these are people. They have the right mindset. They are willing to try new and unconventional ways to solve the problem. They have a certain tolerance for risk, accepting that, okay, I don't know if this company will be around 6 months from now, but I'm willing to try because they have something unique, something that really solves my problem in a dramatically much better way than others. And company size, in my experience, has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's not so that middle-sized or small companies are more innovative, more tendency to be early adopters than big ones. It has to do with the mindset of the CEO, essentially, and how that mindset has developed in the organization. And if you are working with business-to-business companies of large size, enterprise size, essentially, you need to have a CEO which has this mindset, which are willing to say to the purchasing department and IT department and everyone that wants to be a gatekeeper, and say, okay, just get it going. Just get it going. I know it's outside our normal purchasing processes, etc., but just make it happen. Okay. So what will you do then when you have this? Because you need to find those and you need to interview them, and you need to interview them using a very specific technique, which is called customer discovery interviews. And customer discovery interviews have a very special way of asking questions. First rule, always and only open-ended question. Never ever yes, no, never ever a question with 5 well-defined answer alternatives like the ones you have in the survey. Right? Only open-ended questions. Always questions about actual situations in the past. Never ever ask them what you really want to ask them as a founder and a bidder myself, is saying, okay, if I build this and this, will you buy it, right? That's a nice question. It's absolutely nonsense. You need to get rid of any kind of that questions and really ask, not even how do you normally solve your whatever funding needs. The normally things, don't ask about that. Ask about specific things in the past. So the last time you had this problem, you had a development project for this real estate and you couldn't get the funding, what happened, right? What did you try? So what were the things you tried, the facts about what happened in the past? You will never ever ask questions about how often does this happen, because people lie to you all the time. They generalize when they shouldn't generalize. Ask them about the specifics. So if this customer in the real estate side had problems on the funding 6 months ago, ask what happened, what were the consequences, who were affected, what did you try, how did the things you did try, how did those work for you? And when you finish with that, go back and ask, okay, that was the thing 6 months ago. Okay, let's go back the time before that. When was that? Yeah, it was a year or so before that again. Okay, then you have deducted the duration and frequency. So all these open-ended questions, ask them about how they addressed it, how that worked for them, and ask them what were the consequences of not being able to resolve it. That is one of your key questions, because when you've done that, you will very often figure out that it wasn't that bad consequences. They found a solution eventually. And that will tell you essentially that your solution is not so needed for them, because they found a solution anyway. By the way, as I said, if you have a two-sided business model, you need to do this kind of interviews on both sides of the equation. So what not to do is the opposite. So never ever ask questions about hypothetical situations, what they would do in the future, how they would react to a value proposition. Do never ever ask about that. Do never ever put words in the mouth of the customer. Do not use loaded or leading questions. Do not use yes/no questions. Do not use questions with limited number of alternatives. Do absolutely not pitch your product. Do absolutely not discuss future functionality of your product. Focus on their problem. That is the key thing. It's a very good book on this. It's a small book. It's only, I think, 130 pages or so. And it's called the MOM test. And I highly recommend the MOM test if you have not read it, because it's essentially about how can you ask question to your mother about your business idea in a way where you can get valuable answers. Because normally asking your mother is probably the last thing you should do, because you only get these false positives saying, okay, it's so nice, it's so good you're doing this, and blah, 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 which are of absolutely no value. So this is essentially about how to ask questions in a way where you can get valuable answers. This is so typical problem for most startups I've been involved in, and also most of the startup programs. So I created a small 2-hour self-study course with some tricky quizzes to handle them. So if you like, you can register an account here, and I will give you access to a 2-hour course, essentially about how to structure the interview list to do that. And if you want to discuss this further, sign up for one of the business office hours, and some slides presenting your ID, but in particular the problem side, the customer segment side, and how you are going to address those things. Yep, that was my intro, Bertrand.
Great, thank you very much, Christian, for this presentation. And I encourage all the founders on the call to take advantage of this small training that you are offering, and also your presentation slide you shared with them. I see Terence was asking the questions. So yes, you guys will have the slides from Christian. Thanks again. Yeah, and also, guys, I really suggest you, when Christian makes office hours available, please book some time with him and discuss your business. He will have very valuable advices for all of you guys. Okay, now would be Nadia. Nadia, are you ready for your talk?
Yes, for sure, Bertrand.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Sharing my presentation. So, are you seeing my presentation?
Yes, Nadia, you can see.
Yes. Is it okay?
Yes, it's
Bertrand?
perfect. We can see very well. Yes, we
Yes,
can
it
see
is.
very well.
Okay, great. So here is Nadia. I did already presented myself. What is going on? Okay. So here I'm focusing on some points, and thank you very much, Christian, to focus on the importance of discovering the customers. And here in my presentation, I will going more deep and ahead with this point. So I'll be answering a few points with who are my real customers, what is the real problem, what are tactics or other tactics to identify my target customers, how can I ensure their feedback, and if my idea is a good one or not. So here I'm bringing a new concept to discover my customers. Who are my customers? So this is just a reminder that I need to identify to know if my customers are B2C, means final consumers, or businesses. So I'm a B2B business, or I'm in the B2B2C business, means I'm selling to businesses that are selling to customers, to final consumers, or am I in a B2B2B business, means I'm selling to businesses that are selling to businesses. And further, we know what is why this point is important. There are two other business models, which are business to government and business to organizations, and this important in order to distinguish if am I working with government. So for example, with Cameroon government, I need to handle that needs of a government like private business, or just like another government from another continent. So I need to work to detect hard and deep the needs of the customers. Also, if am I working with organizations, for example, United Nations organization needs and expectations are very different from other more little or more smaller organizations. So the expectation of United Nations is harder and very demanding, for example. Here I'm exploring the needs of my customers. So there's a concept which is unique for United Nations, which is called NEHOS. NEHOS stands for N for needs, E for expectations, H for habits, and O for occasions. As Christian focuses on how to know, you need to know, you must know your customer. Here is a technique to identify who are or what are the needs of my customers. So we'll begin with needs. So here, reminder that if I am working with B2C business model, so to detect and to identify the needs of my customers, my end users, I may be back to Maslow concept or Murray or Revich. And here we'll go just in deep with Maslow pyramid to detect the needs of my end consumer. So I think all of you know that the basic needs are physical needs, like, for example, water, house, food, etc. Biological needs, air, water, shelter, etc. Then safety needs, we need security, order. Then belongingness, we need family, we need love, we need community to belong to. More deeper, we need esteem needs, achievement, status, self-respect. A higher need, which is cognitive needs, self-awareness, knowledge, deep knowledge. And then more higher is aesthetic needs, like art, nature, beauty. And in the last and the newest version of this pyramid was self-actualization, which is personal growth, and then transcendence, which is need to help others, like mentors are doing now. So helping others and go beyond oneself to go to others. and as a newest need, which is discovered, which is the spiritual needs. These are about B2C needs, okay? If you are working with final consumers, you may consider all these needs to detect what are you proposing as unique values, as unique offer to your customers. For example, if you are proposing a restaurant, so go higher than proposing nice foods or healthy foods. Go higher with highest needs. For example, we are proposing a friendly space with healthy food. We are offering lovely ambience for friends, families, and couples, for example, with healthy food. So go higher with the needs of each person, of each customer, in order to have a unique value proposition and differentiating value proposition. For B2B businesses, their needs are different. So the needs of business to business are marketing ones and production goals. Marketing goals and production goals. Marketing goals are for, so the business to business needs means the needs of your customers. So they need to sell more to their actual clients. They need to attract the clients of their competitors. They need to convert the non-users to users, and then to go with profitability. So you need in your value proposition, if you are proposing geographical web solution, etc., to show how your service, how your web application, how your geographical service is matching the marketing goals of your customers, okay, in the side of marketing goals. Production goals are also B2B needs. So any business need to produce in expected quantities, to produce in expected qualities, to produce or serve service in time and in acceptable costs. So for example, here you need to show, if you are delivering geographical web application, how your web application help your business's needs to deliver in quantities or qualities, in time or in acceptable costs. For example, earlier you mentioned that your solution help your businesses needs to gain costs or to have lower personal costs. We go to the second detail, which is expectations. So needs are the basic needs of the customer, B2B or B2C. Expectations means are higher than needs. For example, if my need is to have a web application that serves me data with the geographical data, my expectation is to have this web application with ergonomy, with nice design, with great capital letters that help me go fast in dealing with the screen, etc. I go with another example. With renting, for example, houses, the need is to have a house, to rent a house, but the expectation is to have a house wide, without humidity, with windows showing, with a garden, with nice colors of walls. So these are more details in needs. If you go with habits, this is one special concept, and I need your concentration on that. For example, my need is to rent a house. My expectation is to have a wide house with nice colors or with joyful colors. My habit, for example, I am a new couple, a new married wife, and once for the first few years, I will rent a small house with two houses, with two pieces, with two chambers, for example. But once my first kid will have 3 years old, I need to move to another house which is wider with 3 chambers, for example. So this is a habit. A habit means first habit is once a couple get married, they will rent a new house. So this is a customer profile. You need to look after where can I find this niche of new couples, and then after the first kid, which will have 3 years, this is a new habit who are a new habit that will move to another need, to another expectation, which is a larger or wider house. I hope that this is clear, and be sure that we may spend months explaining this new concept through training and coaching. So I rely on your intelligence to understand it too fast. I go lastly with occasions. This is a special detail. For example, let's say I will give a sample example, as in Islamic countries now, today is the day before Eid, religious event. So in these religious events or days, there are need to buy more things, okay? So this is occasion. This is a special event, which are an occasion that shows needs, expectations, habits. So I need to go back to my customers, B2C or B2B, and think deep in what can be the occasions that help me sell more my service or my product. How can I detect my customers' nehos? So I think my presentation will be complementary to what Christian said. So I won't be repeatable, and I will focus on new things. So you need to have an observation skills and emotional skills to detect the customer problem, to detect the customer nehos. So you need to daily observe the doing, the don'ts, the habits, what are B2C, what our customers are behaving, are consuming, how businesses are choosing their partners, are choosing their suppliers, etc. This is observation skills. Emotional intelligence, this new intelligence, kind of intelligence, rather than IQ intelligence, help you to go deeper in customers' needs. So inside emotional intelligence, you need to work on your awareness, to be aware of what can be the expectations and the habits of your customers, whatever final consumers or businesses. And empathy means you need to be in the shoulders of your customers to detect what are their expectations, what are their habits of consuming, what are the occasions where I can find my consumers rather than other times. So how to ensure of my customers' nehos? Like Christian said, there are, I will split in the two main techniques, which are interview and questionnaire. Interview means you are using open questions without no yes questions, open questions, and let's discover what can be the answers of the customers, what can be his needs, expectations, habits, etc. The questionnaire is can be online or on paper, but it's basically pre-ready questions and can be open questions or yes no questions. My advice is to start with interview, and mostly face-to-face interview, in order to have wide information, wide feedback, deep feedback about the customers, and then you can formalize, you can prepare a questionnaire with questions, with 5-minute questions, or at most up to 7 minutes questions, to send it, for example, online in terms of form to your customers or your businesses customers, to ask them to answer. So you need to interview a small niche, as in Founder Institute, ask you to do 25, I think, interviews, and send you the questionnaire for 200 clients in order to ensure the needs and to ensure that they have the problem and they need the solution you are in hand. In interviewing, I have some few tips, because this is to validate the feedback. You as an interviewer, or someone else instead of you as an interviewer, you need to have a body language, opening body language. Don't cross your legs, don't cross your arms, have your arms open in order to impact on the subconscious of the customer, of the interviewee, in order to have opened feedback and opened answers. As a tip in interviews, especially in face-to-face interviews, try to focus on the body language of your interviewees. The body language can deliver if your interviewee is defensive, like this posture, or is in arrogance position, or is annoyed of the interview, or is happy with you, is confused, worried, or any other position. So as a tip that I missed, try to start the interview with smiling, with friendly and welcoming message, in order to let him be very open to give you any information or any feedback. As a tip for the interviewees, don't do the interview in front of a table, just be on 2 chairs in order to see widely and openly the body language of the interviewee. And as, for example, in this position, if your interviewee is crossing his arms, this means that he is hiding verity, he's hiding information. Donc try to help him be open, be frank, and be at ease to deliver and to speak frankly. Exactly like this, try to find 2 chairs from each other and have not crossed legs. Here, another technique, how to discover is if your interviewee is lying or is saying verity, the truth. So for example, look, this is a tip. If someone is looking on the right corner of his eyes, this means that he's creating an idea, he's thinking. If he is looking at the right corner, he's remembering. So if you are asking, for example, you're an interviewee, what are the problems you faced, what are the solutions you find you were satisfied with, if he is seeing at the right corner, means that he's lying, he's creating an idea, he's not remembering something from the past, so he's lying. Okay, so this is a technique in order to if you are getting a verity and truth feedback. So try to focus on the body language in general. At the end, you are gathering in-house data, and what else in interviews or questionnaire, you gather demographic data. At the end, to do segmentation of the customers of niche. Once you get verified, confirmed problem and confirmed expectations, and there is a number of niche of customers that are in need of your solutions, this means your idea can be great. if you are not confirming the problem and the expectations and the solutions you are offering, means you can skip the idea and move to another. That's all. Welcome for any question and good luck. Here are my email. So I'm expecting to send me your deck before 1 week of any meeting, and I prefer that you prepare a Word document. In a table, you split the problem, and in the other side, the solution you are proposing, the value proposition you are proposing to your customers, the NEHOs as detailed in this presentation, in order to confirm that you know your customers, the needs, your expectations, and you know deeply your customers, and if the problem you are detecting goes with the expectation of your customers. Thank you very much and good luck.
I have a question. Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you, Bertrand.
Great, thank you much, Nadia, for your presentation. Now the floor is open. We still have, let's give it 4 or 5 minutes for Q&A. So the mentors are here, Christian, Nadia, and Marcel. So the founders, if you have a few questions for them, go ahead before we close the session.
I think Bertrand have a question.
Yes, please.
Yes, I have one. Yes, exactly to you, Nadia. Thank you for your deep presentation. It was thorough. But my question is that very important part of my customers live abroad. Those customers living in North America or Europe who have buildings here and who don't know how to manage them properly. Those people, I need to interview them via phone. I've asked for phone numbers via phone and WhatsApp number. So there's no way for us to sit face to face, but you did not unbag this problem. Does that mean that my phone interview will not count?
By phone interviews, you need to count, you need to have a skill to identify if the voice, the tone, the sound of the voice of your customer is showing interest, is showing truth, is lying, or is just be polite with you. I suggest that you find someone that talk with them in behalf of you in the United States or in other country. Just give him some training, how to focus on body language, how to do the interview, etc. You may follow the interview remotely, but someone else give this interview face to face. And for sure, you need to have, let's say, after this program, to participate in events, etc. You need to see them face to face. Here in the program, you may do video interview and not voice interview. You may ask them politely to open the video, the camera, and to try to focus on his face and eyes, body language.
Okay. Thank you, Nadia. I'm covered. Thank you, Bertrand.
Thank you too. Any other question? Bertrand, are you here?
Yes, hello. Any other question for the other mentors? Christian is still here, Marcel, for the phone. Any question? Hello, any other question from the founders? Okay, if there are no further questions, we are going to close the session here. So again, thank you very much for our mentors for being here today. Thank you, Marcel. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Nadia. And the recording of this session, as well as the slides, would be available next week. By next week, and them, and also Marcel, Christian, and Nadia will be opening office hours. So if you have further questions and you want to further discuss your project with them, please look out office hours availability and book some time with them. Okay, thank you everybody for your time today, and see you for the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Marcel. And big thank you to Bertrand.